Well, the Grahamstown High Court has dismissed the application by an ANC grouping in the Eastern Cape to nullify the newly elected PEC in the province. This ruling comes just 4 days before the party's National Elective Conference starts. The group was calling for the conference to be declared null and void following the breakout of violence and the withdrawal of many of the delegates. Some ANC members of the OR Tambo, Jokabi and Amatoli regions wanted the court to set aside the outcome of that conference. Therefore, the PEC that was elected in September still stands, but the applicants say that they will be appealing the judgment. So let's get a bit more now on this. Our BusisiweJemsana is in the Eastern Cape. Busi, so just to recap, that application to have the results of the Eastern Cape PEC nullified, that's been dismissed with costs. What were the reasons that were given for the ruling?
A very good afternoon to you, Natasha. Though Judge Tembekile Malusi was very brief in handing down the judgment, but we do have the judgment. It's a 50-page judgment on the issue. But one of the key issues that were raised in this report, one is that credentials were adopted in that conference. That therefore means that it gave way for voting to continue. Secondly, the court found that Premier Phumulo Masualle, who is the former chairperson of the former Provincial Executive Committee, did not have the powers to adjourn the Congress. You would remember that the applicants have been saying that the Congress was adjourned, and therefore it is impossible that there was voting that took place and that the Congress continued, because the chairperson, Phumulo Masualle, the then chairperson, adjourned the Congress, and therefore for a voting to continue, it needed him to re-adjourn the Congress and continue with the Congress. The court found that he had no powers to adjourn the Congress, because the respondents argued that it is the meeting, when the Congress is open, it is open to the floor, and it is the meeting that will then decide on adjourning or continuing with the Congress. Thirdly, one important factor that was also put on the 50-page judgment is that internal processes should have been followed, and that members of the ANC should allow ANC internal processes to continue. The case should have not been brought to the court, and internal processes should have been followed. You would remember that there is a dispute sitting in Lutuli House of those who are disgruntled, who took the matter to the NEC to say the Congress was unconstitutional, and therefore the Provincial Executive Committee that was elected in that Congress was and is unconstitutional. And then the courts are saying that should be given space to conclude its business. Let the ANC conclude its business. And speaking of credentials, going back to credentials, Natasha, one of the things is that in his affidavit, NEC member Zizi Kodwa said that credentials were adopted, and the court did not find anyone who says I was there and credentials were not adopted. So that's basically some of the reasoning behind the judgment today, Natasha.
All right, and in terms of reaction to that ruling, we understand that the applicants in this case will be appealing this.
Indeed, they will be appealing this. They said they will be taking this matter to the Constitutional Court, though they could not give us exactly the details as to why they would be appealing this, the loopholes that they see that the court did not look at that would allow them to go to the Constitutional Court to appeal this ruling. They are saying they will study the ruling, they will study the judgment further extensively, and then take it to the Constitutional Court to appeal this ruling. Indication is that they will do that before the National Congress that takes place in a few days' time. So we can expect them to go to the Constitutional Court in the next day or so. Natasha.
All right, Busi, thanks so much for that. For now, we'll leave it there. Our BusisiweJemsana live from the Grahamstown High Court. Thanks so much for that.